Okay, so welcome everyone. This is my boy Chris. As I don't know if you know him or not. He's very famous, and he's the guy who made me trade like I trade today with his videos. He has amazing videos on YouTube, so please check it out. Really, really good.
Thank you very much.
So
Is your YouTube on Greek or English?
It is all in English.
Okay.
Everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
Good.
Chris is New York Time trader, so he need to
Yeah.
speak on English on his YouTube.
Exactly.
Okay, so basically, we started doing these calls about the trading journeys, trading psychology, and everything. We're talking basically about everything to help people that are starting trading, that are struggling with profitability. And we are going to make series of these. So last time it was me and Nikola alone, and now you're our first guest. Anyway.
Well, welcome, Chris. I think we opened a really nice chat before you came up on the call, and that's something that I think a lot of people are finding their way to trade, but they don't have enough time. They have families, and you imagine you coming back from work and you're trying to you have a lunch with family, you're trying to take care of your to be with your wife for some time, and then you need to crunch in some time uh to do trading. And so I think it's really difficult, especially for people who have kids or mothers that have so much things on their plate that is super hard for them to do anything. And so what do you guys think about that?
I believe that's a very good question. By the way, I believe personally that those people should focus on swing trading. And in the past, let's say, months, I have been personally focusing on scalping. And even though I don't have any kids for myself, I find it very hard to do the scalping thing. So I have switched to some of the old strategies, and I'm going for more like an intraday trading approach, and a swing trading approach would be very appropriate for those people who don't have any time, in my opinion.
Yeah, basically, I made a video about that two or 3 days ago. I'm not sure. Basically, the video is how to start trading if you have 9 to 5 job or any job anyway. I didn't mention families, but it applies. So basically, to start trading, you don't need so many time. You need like 1 hour a day, 1 hour and a half to start learning, to find a good mentor, you know. And then after you find the mentor, after you do the lessons, after you think you're capable to at least start on demo, then you can start on swinging, because you still need to work, you still need to take care of your family, and so on and so on. So basically, when you see that you're profitable on demo, on swinging, and you make some money after that, then you can think about quitting your job, finding jump only for trading sessions, start scalping, everything goes faster, more money is in the making, and so on and so on. So basically, yeah, to start everything, swing is the way to go, if you ask me.
Correct.
But
And
also like when you have so I believe there's a lot of people that know trading, they made a strategy, they really know their numbers, they really know their entry levels, they have their rules already in place, but it's really hard to find trading. I know and I know some of the people that are trying to, they want to keep trading, but their job is killing them. And sometimes I would I mean, I know it might be, super radical or super harsh for me to say such thing, but sometimes the best thing would be to change profession, or like to change a job, or like, let's say there are people working as waiters, like try to speak with your manager just to work second shift, for example, because I think it's really important to keep your London open, because if you position yourself during London, then during New York, that move just can propel you even more with news or something like that. So when it comes to that, I would rather, sometimes I think it's better to recommend, change your profession, change your job, or just speak to your manager to adjust your working time. That way you can release some time. So I would like to hear your opinion, guys, on this.
I personally believe, again, a very good point. Another thing that somebody can do, based on what you said, Nicola, somebody can also, when he finds profitability, then what he can do or she can do is make enough savings so that he or she can maybe even quit the job. This is another thing. But you cannot quit your job, of course. That would be terrible advice if you don't have enough savings, let's say, to live freely for 1 year, 2 years without doing anything. Okay. Furthermore, I would like to add on the previous thing that we said about the swing trading. You don't even need to do that. People who want to find 1 or 2 trades per day, there are certain algorithmic moves that happen the exact same time every single day, and you can win with only 1 trade per day. So you don't always need a lot of trades to win in trading. That's my take.
Yeah, that is correct. But you know how it goes. Psychology is pretty bad thing in trading. So basically, if you start your day with a losing trade, the beginners are not going to handle that very well. So that is going to go on your job. You know, you're not going to be able to perform. So basically, if you want to start trading, my advice: start trade after your job. You know, find a time in the evening, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. You can still find a decent trade if you know what you're doing, of course. Even so, if you're swinging, even so, make a bigger risk, make a 1.5%, 2% risk. You know, you can that way you can
That's a
compensate.
really good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah, that you can compensate for the lack of time, and you can make more money if you risk, for example, 2% per trade. But you still need to respect your risk management. You know, you cannot just go on and risk half of your account and everything just because you don't have time. It doesn't work with that.
And you also have to always take the A+ setups.
Of course.
So always. So in my opinion, if you are day trading, you are fine if you take also the B setups as long as you're doing proper risk management. But what Nikola said correctly, you have when you swing trade and you want to take 1 trade, let's say only, or 2 trades per week, then increasing the risk with A+ setups would be very appropriate. I agree.
For you, must be really hard, Chris, to see like which Nikola. So I think that's a good point. And also when it comes to swing trading, system has to be optimized for winning. Like let's say, so for swing trading, I don't think there should be break evens. So you never put break even because there might be some oscillations for some of the days. And if you put yourself to break even, okay, if the price already moved from your entry, that's a safer way. But if the price didn't move, so I remember last year I was swinging S&P. It was just a spot. It wasn't on margin, just a spot. And I remember if I put on break even, the price would kick me out of the trade, I think 5 or 6 times, but I didn't put the break even. So I was still in the trade. So the price kept going, and I caught the whole move, and so that's why I think some when it comes to swing, especially, there should be some certain rules be applied, especially when it comes to such style.
For example, I don't use break evens at all. I hate break evens.
Not even in day trading.
I'm scalping more or less.
I hate not even in your scalping, Nikola.
Yeah, I'm scalping maybe intraday, but mostly scalping. Just before call, I made 1 to 3.5 on Bitcoin. I hate break-evens. Seriously, if you're sure in your strategy and you know what you're doing, break-evens are just going to mess you up. I swear to God. Every time I put a break-even, I get out of the trade and then it goes to my take profit. I
think it also depends on the asset that you are trading. As you said about testing the strategy. At the very first place, there is a reason why we have a a stop loss where we have it. So if you begin with it, you shouldn't go for break even. But on the other hand, the way I am scalping, as an example, I need to go for break evens. Many times I will close partials and price will stop me. And then it would have stopped me out as well. So in my system, it works.
It really depends on your strategy, more or less. Correct. Because for me, swinging or scalping, I use the same thing. It's the same strategy, just on the different time frame. So basically, for example, if I'm using inverse fair value gaps, my stop loss has to be where it is. If I lose the trade, I lose because I didn't do the correct analysis. So basically, if it hits stop loss, I'm wrong, and I take it. It doesn't matter. But most of the time, because I trade a lot of inverse fair value gaps, it comes back to the inverse again, and then it shoots out. So basically, for me, stop loss has to be where it is. If I take a loss, I take a loss. It's fine. I'm going to compensate it. But still, break-evens are just messing my trades.
Are we talking more about Forex now, if I understand, Nikola?
More or less,
I think, yeah, Forex, I
more or
think
less is the same for me.
yeah, I think it can be applied the same rules. And also, like, I think there's another point. So when I came to Vietnam, I started organizing like trading sessions. So not like trading sessions, but trading meetups. So you meet a lot of people from different, like from Israel, Brazil, Germany, France, a lot of people. And you hear crazy stories. Like I met the guy, he's a trader, I think I forgot, from Dubai or something, and he's been trading for a few years. And the crazy thing that he said, half of his portfolio he's investing in cat tokens. I was like, what are cat tokens? And so there's some certain competition online that people are trading, putting money in cat tokens because there's like a thought or like competition that the first cat that reaches 1 billion, like that cat is the best. And then we touched another point when it comes to crypto trading. And this is my personal opinion. I don't have to be right. It's just my personal perspective. I think people should, when choosing asset class, is it stocks, is it commodities, is it Forex, is it crypto, they should think about their lifestyle and they should backtest. For example, if you're living in Europe, and you're trying to trade crypto, I think that can be really difficult. And here's my personal take. I'm just going to speak from my personal perspective, what I saw on the markets. So the problem with crypto, it's not regulated. So the price moves a little bit differently, not crazy much, but all the rules can be applied. But here's the thing, a lot of setups can appear while you sleep. And if you try to place a limit order, Iran can can shoot on Israel, and then you fucked up. Sorry for my language. And there's another thing, because setup can happen anytime. Imagine you are on dinner with your friends, and you're trying to trade crypto. You get your price alert. Then, okay, your laptop is with you because you might expect that that price alert might hit, come to your level. Then you have to leave your friends, open your laptop and trade. So for me, crypto is only investing. So I don't think I would never be able to align my lifestyle with crypto trading. And that's my personal take, and I would like to hear yours.
Nikola, do you have to add something on crypto trading?
Basically, I'm not investing. I'm only trading. I took all my money out of my investments and I just trade. So basically, for me, stocks, crypto, commodities, doesn't matter, whatever it is, all my strategies apply everything on the same. So basically, whatever I open on the chart, when I see the setup, I just trade. Doesn't matter what time. Of course, it matters what time of day it is, but for example, for crypto, it doesn't really matter what time it is. 2 or 3 days ago, I caught a trade 11 p.m., 1 hour before midnight, just because
wow.
I saw the setup. So basically, for me, I'm a hardcore trader. I don't invest, I don't reinvest, nothing. I trade, I make money, I pull my money. That's all. So for me, for crypto trading, it doesn't really matter what time it is for me. For example, today is Sunday. My trade was open, I'm going to tell you now, 11:40 Sunday. It shooted up 1 to 3 in 45 minutes. So basically, for crypto trading, if you ask me, any time of the day is fine, as long as you see your setup.
I tend to agree more with the other Nikola, personally.
That's fine.
And even though I haven't traded crypto for a long time, why do I have an opinion on that? Because I started trading the Leap, the competition that is running on TradingView.
No.
Right now. There is a competition, a free competition on TradingView with 78,000 people enrolled.
Oh, wow.
And, at this current moment, guys, I'm at number 38, by the way, out of 78,000 people. Yeah,
oh,
so
wow.
Here I am. And how did I do that? That's why I think I have a saying on that. It's been 17 days and I'm number 38 of 80,000. I swing traded the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the Sol US dollar. So I did exactly what the other Nikola said. Yangic, how do I say your surname?
Yeah, Janjic.
Okay. And this is the way I did it. I had a plan about both of those. Actually, the three of those had broken a swing low on the daily time frame. And since then, I have been buying aggressively. And this is the strategy I have been following. I have certain alerts on very high levels. When they hit, I just close partials. That's the way I'm doing it only.
Nice.
That's it.
That's fine.
But of course, we can also trade normally. There's no question about that.
Yeah,
I would
fine.
just prefer to trade it swing. This is what I mean.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, so I'm sorry for interrupting, Nikola. I'm just curious, what did you agree with us and what you didn't agree? So I would just like to hear that your personal take when it comes so other people can understand it better.
Okay. My take.
Yeah, so let's say, I don't know if which Nikola you agree or not, it's fine. So it's open discussion. I would like to hear your personal take on what you agree and on what you do not. So that way people can get a better overview of, yeah.
I agree on the perspective to make it clear that as far as I have seen them, they move very aggressively, very, very aggressively.
Yeah.
And the points that you made regarding if you are in a dinner or if you are sleeping and all that stuff make absolute sense to me. And the reason for that is that many times I would wake up and the move would have already played for the better sometimes, because I would have made more money since the alert hit, but it would be impossible for me to be able to wake up and play the move. Very erratic movements, very hectic movements, very quick movements, which personally I wouldn't be able to adjust them to my style. This is what I mean. But if somebody wants to do it, he can absolutely day trade it as well. This is my point.
Yeah, but if you, for example, you try to do sweeps and rebalances of the market, you can catch that. For example, on a 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, doesn't matter. You can still catch that. Daily chart, doesn't matter. Some of my best trades was actually sweeps plus rebalances of the market on the 1-day chart on the Bitcoin and gold. It's
we just had a really good
60,000 pips move.
Yeah, we just had a really good sweep on Bitcoin. If you go to 50 minutes, it was a really good. I think this trade might come a little bit further down. So it just happened a few minutes ago.
Yes.
And
I see. Wait.
Yeah.
It's a daily inversion fair value gap, first of all, let's say at 6,670, around there, 6,1714, something like that. And
I'm in short anyway. I can share my screen if you want. Let me show you. I'm anyway in short now, so just give me 1 second. So basically, yeah, it's here. So here is the trade I took earlier today. So basically, demand with inverse fair value gap on 1 minute, sweep of the 15-minute high, structure shift over here on 15 minutes, inversion fair value gap with a fair value gap, entry, stop above the high, and I'm targeting this liquidity over here.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, so basically, that's what I'm saying. You can catch the moves. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter if you do 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day. Basically, it all goes on the same way.
And how is that? I would like to hear how is that. Okay, so now it's 11 a.m. No, sorry, it's
It's 2:30 in my time.
So, yeah, 2:30. So I would like to hear. Does it affect your lifestyle? When it comes to crypto trading, I would just like to hear. Okay, you might be freak that is all day on charts. That's still okay. But I'm just curious. How does it affect your lifestyle? Does it affect it? How does it change and so forth?
Mine?
Yeah.
So basically, what do I do? When I don't have time for chart, I don't spend more than half an hour on charts. 45 minutes max, and only because I do live calls on my Discord. That's the whole point. If I don't do live calls on my Discord, I get up in the morning, I make myself coffee, I sit on the chart. If I don't see my setup, I leave the chart. That's it. It doesn't matter. It's going to come later. It's not going to come later. I really don't care. If I don't see it at the moment, I don't see it at the moment. I make a higher time frame analysis, and then I wait for a higher time frame analysis to hit my point of interest. Then that's how I make time for myself, because I have jewelry. I need to work in a jewelry. I spend a lot of time with my girlfriend. I go visit my, and so on and so on and so on. I'm planning my wedding and so on. So basically, I don't have that much time to spend on charts. But if I don't see a setup early in the morning, for example, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. before London, I just leave. It's fine. I just leave. I do mark some zones, and I leave my charts. Go to the walk, go to make a breakfast, and doesn't matter. I check the New York on my phone. If I see my setup coming, I just enter the trade, put my stop loss, and I leave it running. 1 to 3, I take most of my profits, and I leave the runner with a break even after 1 to 3. Okay, so basically that's how I do. That's how I do things. That's how I trade. I really don't like spending a lot of time on charts, because the more I'm on the charts, the worse things I see. I see setups that are not there. I start imagining something. You know, I start losing money. So basically, like 2.5 years now, I don't spend that many time of charts at all. Literally zero.
I think that's a valid point, and I think that's a valid point for people. Let's say they're working, you know, like you don't have to find time to be all day. So you can be only on the charts during specific periods, and let's say you want to find time, you know, to trade. So what can you do? You can just block. So what I like to use, I use Google Calendar. And I like to point, so what I do in the morning, what I'm doing afternoon. So of course I'm not perfect, you know, it's so hard to, you know, follow to be rigid and follow the schedule, you know, just like that. But I think let's say you want to find the work, I don't know, after you come back for work. So if you set yourself for like such setups, I think your setups can be more often, you know, with your trading style. And if let's say somebody copies that trading style but optimize it for themselves, and just, you know, when they block that period of time, I'm going to do it no matter what, because, you know, people are thinking about, you know, so many tools for discipline, blah blah blah, but sometimes it's just, you know, work. And you know, it's you know, of course, you know, in Serbia they say, how they say, it's either platiš na drumu ili na čupri, tako nešto. I forgot.
Something like you pay before or later, doesn't matter. You pay anyway,
Yeah.
something like that.
So, but you know, price has to be paid, you know, anyways. So we imagine actually I drop out my college, but let's say people had finished the college. So you go to college for 5 years, you know, to get your degree. So you have a paper that you know the work that you went to college for. And then the same thing can be applied to trading. You know, I think it's also managing your expectations. People expect too fast results, but this is, if you see it as a college, you know, like going, okay, if I start trading, I can see it going as a college, and then I know it's going to take me 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you know, and it doesn't have to apply for everyone. For somebody it can be 2 weeks, for somebody can be 2 years. So I don't think so. The wrong question would be how much it took you. It doesn't matter. So for you it can take 2 weeks, you know, and just having that patience, you know, I think it's a good way to go.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a very valid point.
Yeah.
You cannot have a set in stone, let's say, number of years or of weeks that somebody did something and then they expect that they will do the same.
How many times did you get that question, Chris? And you, Nikola, as well?
Hundreds of times.
How much it took, you know? When I hear such question, you know, bro, like it can take you two weeks. You know,
I will tell you the worst question. My worst question is not that. My worst question that I get every single day is how much can I make if I follow your strategies?
Yeah.
And then you try to explain to them this depends on the capital and on the risk parameters. And then either they disappear or they get mad. They do not understand. They say, how much you made? they cannot understand that if I risk 50 cents per trade, I might make, let's say, $15 per month.
That's something that I wanted to talk after this. I just need to make one point regarding colleges and working. I think the colleges are a big waste of time, my personal opinion, because even when you finish your college, even when you get your degree, whatever you do, they send you to practice.
Mm.
So basically, they're sending you to learn from the professionals. So,
Yes.
one question: why would I learn, for example, architecture
Oh God,
in
you
my
just blew
college?
my mind. You just blew my mind. Yeah,
So
that's
basically, why would I learn something in college if I'm going to learn it again from the professionals? Even
Yeah.
so, 95% from the college that we learn, we don't use. You know, when is the last time I used trigonometry? Never.
Never.
Oh,
Never.
you went to mathematical college.
Yeah, I actually studied computer networks, Cisco, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
It's actually, I used to work it a little bit, but it's not for me. So basically, same things applies here. You know, when somebody asks me why are you giving courses when you are making from trading?
Mhm, mhm,
Man, that pisses me off so much. So
mhm.
much. Man, that question is so fucking annoying. And I say, okay, so basically, what do you think? Where is your neurosurgeon learning to do your operation?
Exactly.
So why would he teach another guy to do the operation if he's the only guy in the world who can do it? Basically, what's the whole point about it?
I'm always giving the same answer, Nikola, the same exact answer as you. I bring the doctor to the table always. Like, why is the professional doctor who is making 30,000 per operation teaching also in the university? What's the point? But on the other
Teaching.
hand,
You say, sorry, pitching.
Teaching.
teaching.
Oh,
He's
teaching.
also teaching in a university, let's say a top doctor. Also, when I was in the psychology university in the Netherlands, in the neuropsychology department, we had top educators who were making already 10, 20,000 per month, except from the money of the university. So what was the point of them also teaching? And yes, I'm the first to say that it is also good money, guys. It is also money. It is not bad to admit.
Of course.
Yeah,
It's
of
money.
course.
More or less,
And
it's
I
the
have
money.
I have a personal question for you, Nikola.
Yeah.
Do you know that neuroscientist, sorry, for Chris, do you know that neuroscientist from Greece? It's called Nikolaos Dimitris.
Thessaloniki, he's from Thessaloniki.
Yeah, he lives in Belgrade. He lived in Belgrade, Serbia for some time.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I met him personally, but he's a great guy. So when you mentioned these things, you reminded me. But yeah, I think you guys are you guys have a valid point. I think it's also when it comes to like even choosing asset class or like whatever it is. I think people should test it out. So they should see what should be applied to their trading style, because let's say you're trying to copy somebody. The reason why what's trading signals do not work is that, let's say I'm copying trades from Chris. Chris is the guy I'm following, and he sends a signal, you should buy here, blah blah blah, and I set my trade. Or if it's a market execution, which is a little bit harder, you place market execution, soon you enter, it might be too late. So let's say I follow Chris, and Chris has a trading style that really aligns to him. And but here's the thing, I don't know what's his break even. I don't know where he takes profits. I don't know, and like people trying to copy signals, but in order to copy signals, you need to know his strategy by heart. And most of the signal groups, but still, if you want to learn how the guy thinks, then you need to learn. So then why you should follow signals? So yeah, what's your take, guys, on that trading signals?
I started rejecting people when they ask me how much I'm going to make. I swear, the last guy told me how much I can make. I said, you cannot join. Seriously, I'm like, you cannot join because you're in this only for the money. We all are. Let's make it clear. We all do this for money. It's nice money. It's easy money when you get to a certain point. But when some guy came and he asked me how much money I'm going to make, and I asked, do you have a risk management plan? And he says no. And I block him, instantly block. So basically, what Nikola said, trading strategies is individual. The whole trading is individual. I can give you the zone that you can enter off, but you need to know your entry, you need to know your risk management, you need to know your risk, you need to know when are you going to live. Example, we had a signal group. We made a signal group. me and my previous colleague. I'm profitable. I make 7 to 9% a month. The guy comes and he's minus 3%. And I'm like, see what I mean? So basically, everything we do the same. I'm doing 10% plus, you're doing 3% minus.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, that's why I changed the whole point of the group. How do we trade? We do it live. I explain what they need to, what are they waiting for, how to enter, where to leave, and so on and so on.
Yeah, amazing points, guys. Amazing points.
And basically, I do tell them to put a break even. I do not put it, but I do tell them to put break even because it's their money, you know. I cannot gamble with people's money. For me, I know what I'm doing for myself. Even if I hit my stop, I know how to recover it. But majority of the people that are in the trading groups, they don't really have the knowledge for that. Okay, so basically, we cannot gamble with other people's money.
Correct. So what I have done personally to kind of solve this thing is something in between of what you guys said. What I did, what I'm doing, I'm also giving presentations. So every single day that I'm going live, I have PowerPoint presentations, which I'm also sending to the group of exactly how we are trading the specific strategy. Then I'm not calling the signals, as Nikola said, the Kosanović Nikola. I'm not calling the signals in the Telegram. I'm calling every single thing live. They see me taking the trade live. They see me moving the stop loss live. Now, again, there is the very same point. Even if you do all of those things, as an example, I'm risking, let's say, 5 micro lots in my 50K account. I have a bunch of funded accounts. In the small account, I'm risking 5 micro lots only with a 40 tick stop loss, as an example. There are people with the very same account that are risking 30 micro lots, which is micro contracts, which is 3 contracts, actually. I'm risking half contracts, they're risking 3 contracts. So if the trade goes against us and I lose, let's say, 100, they will lose 5 times that, 6 times that. It's not my mistake, it's not my issue.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I made video presentations and I gave them links for the videos. The basics. What is the fair value gap? What is the order block? How do we find order block? How do we enter a trade? What is the structure shift? So basically, when they go on live and they say we are waiting for the structure shift and then we are entering, for example, on the inverse fair value gap, I know that they know what they mean. So basically, the trading groups, if you ask me, are not for the beginners. Okay, so beginners should avoid the trading groups. They should focus on the lessons, on the mentors, on the mentorship, on the demo account, and things like that. Trading groups are for the people who are in trading for some time but struggling with profitability. So basically, they can see what you are doing, they know what you are doing, and they can just apply it on their trading strategy, journey, whatever they are doing. So basically, this is for everyone. If you are a beginner, don't do groups. Signals are not going to make you money. You can copy my signals, Nikola's signals, Chris' signals, any signal. All 3 signals of us, you're not going to be profitable.
Correct. Very good point.
Even though if you have everything for you.
I have a question for Chris. So why don't you use a trading copier? Because, you know, I use trading copier myself, and you can kill multiple birds with one stone. So, you know, managing multiple accounts, I found, so like you enter from one trade, you do like different styles and so forth. I find really, so not like really difficult, but extremely difficult. So when everything is connected to trading copy, I can even recommend a really good trading copier. I use a Swiss company. It's called Duplicum. I can share it later. So when you connect to that account, you have master account. So for my psychology, what I found that I use use super small account. So what I did, you just make on some brokers that you like, IC markets, I don't know, 8 cup or so forth, and as a master you put 5K account, and then for slaves, so slaves are your main accounts like personal fund and so forth. And so when you put them on as slaves, then so the trade is going to be executed on all of the accounts. So that way you don't have to manage, multiple accounts, because that can be mentally draining. So with different styles and so forth. But when you're using a
how
trading,
does the risk work? Sorry for interrupting. So basically, I'm risking the same amount of on.
okay, that's a good question. So in Duplicum, that company, you can set up the risk. So let's say, I don't know, so there's different size of the accounts. So the system, the software itself is going to risk the same percentage on each of the accounts you set.
That's
So it
good.
doesn't matter the size. So for example, but there are settings that you can just set them up. So you use the same risk applies to all accounts, and when you use that setting, so
nice.
you risk same percentage on all of the accounts, and you hit multiple birds with one stone, and that way you compound faster rather than going from one account to another account. Well done for all of the people that does what.
How much does it cost?
So as more accounts you put, it costs you less. So but I think it's 19 euros a month, something like that.
20 euros.
Yeah. So but when you put more accounts, that when your cost goes down.
You should that should be interesting, because I have like close to 1 million in funded accounts. I have like 15 funded accounts at the moment.
I asked you to sell, so
yes.
The thing, guys, is that in futures, I'm trading via the Trejderski platform. It has a copier built in already. It is free. It's absolutely free.
Nice.
So Trejderski, it is called, the platform.
Yeah.
And it has built in, it is for futures only. It has built in the copier, and you can make it, let's say, for the larger accounts to risk 2 times as much or 3 times as much. There is a reason, though, why I stopped doing that. It is a psychological reason. After passing all of these accounts, as Nikola said, they have more than 1 million in funded now accounts. When I passed all of the accounts, because of the mentality of the challenges, which was mostly skill with gambling, to be honest, because I wanted to get many accounts as quickly as possible, I want to get rid of that mentality. So I want to chill psychologically for the next 1 to 2 months. I want to take one trade on Monday on this account, on Tuesday on the other account, on Wednesday, like that. I'm fine with that, and then I will keep doing the same thing again. I will connect everything.
I use it differently. Basically, I use 2x2 accounts, and when I ask for the payout, some payouts are like 7 days, some are 10 days, some are 2 days. So basically, when I ask for a payout on the 2 or 3 of them, I change to the other 2 or 3. Then I change to the another 2 or 3. So that's how I use them. I don't use more than 300K per group, something like that, 2 to 300K per group. Because I started small, I started with 5, then I took 15, then I took 50, and I still have all of my accounts.
Nice.
So I need to connect them somehow. I need to see how am I going to connect at least the small ones into one bigger one.
But here's the thing. I mean, I'm still trying to understand your guys' perspective, because by trying to hit more birds with one stone, you compound faster, because let's say your edge works in certain situation in certain and then let's say on Monday, I'll take example from Chris. On Monday, you hit a win. On Tuesday, you hit stop loss. On Wednesday, you hit break even. And so, from my perspective, instead of just using, when you so you're trading on one account, and that's going to replicate on all of the other accounts. So that way, you can, you can firstly, your edge is going to work in certain situation. But imagine every Tuesday on that account, your edge fails, and you go into deep drawdown. And so, so for me, I would rather focus on my edge, working, in certain situations, and just being able to track such things. And I was just trying to get in your guys' mind, because I find it really difficult.
I will answer on that. There is another reason that I didn't mention why I'm doing that. When we are taking the opening trade as an example, the 9:30 opening trade, which many people think that ICT introduced, but this is a lie. There are traders who are 90 years old right now and they were using the opening trade. So for sure ICT has not introduced that, first of all. And we are not trading it like ICT or anybody else. I have certain rules for that. Anyways, the thing is, when you want to place a bracket order, which means that quickly I want to enter with a set stop loss and a set take profit that I have set in the system, this you can do only on one account. You cannot do it on all accounts at the very same time. So,
can you elaborate that? I'm trying to understand your point.
Let's suppose that there is a very quick movement that is happening, okay? Price, let's say, going down and then up impulsively. And you want to enter instantly with a set stop loss, let's say 20 or a 40 tick stop loss, is instantly set on the chart and the set take profit. Instantly, when you place your buy, let's say, or your buy stop, it activates the stop loss and the take profit, as you have set it in the settings. This you can do only individually on one account, on only one account. If you choose many accounts, you cannot do that. So,
really?
Yes. So what
maybe,
you say?
Maybe just changing the software because because sometimes so I've seen that some people are using the strategy. So this is their strategy, and I think a lot of people are using this strategy. So imagine during the news they set limit order for buy and sell. So they set 2 orders, and the issue is that your orders cannot be filled because market maker buys all the positions, and so there's not enough. So because it bought so many volumes so fast, your orders are not going to be filled.
Correct.
And
we are not trading like that.
I thought that was the reason, but if you can elaborate more on that, maybe just changing the software.
This is not, first of all, the way we are trading. This way does not work. I have tested this way. It will not work long term. To place a buy above the range and the sell below, it barely works. But this is something totally different that I'm referring to. It is that you cannot set all of the accounts to place an automatic stop loss as you have set it. I think there is a software, Quant Tower, it is called, but it is not available on Trade-O-Pay. Nonetheless, this applies only on the opening trade. For the normal trading that we are doing, I can do it. It is absolutely fine. I just choose not to do it. I can connect all of my accounts, no problem at all.
Yeah, because there are softwares that, for example, my personal is on IC markets, and then like it's stunning how that software is powerful. I will just write here. It's called Duplicum. It's excellent. So, but here's they use different platforms. They can use MetaTrader. They can use CTrader. I forgot what other platforms. Like different brokers. They can connect everything in a single, and it works so perfectly. So sometimes there might be the problem. Let's say, especially when you're trading indexes. So that way you can see the difference price. So the only way I found. So that's why I don't trade indexes, because it might be difference on price on multiple accounts. So,
on CFDs only. On CFDs.
If you do forex, then you don't have any issues.
On futures, Nikola, there is no issue at all. If you do futures, it is the same exact price for every single person on planet Earth. That's why I transitioned from CFDs. Besides of the fact that they fall victim to the scams of the TFT and the other companies, Skilled Funded Traders, I was funded with both of them, and at the very same day they closed. But what
companies are using different leverage, so that can be issue. So you cannot open a trade. So if they're using futures, so you have a certain amount of leverage on one account, but then the leverage is different on another. So it's going to be filled on one account, but not on another one, because you don't have enough margin to cover to open your position. So that's what I found difficult with futures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understand what you say. Yeah.
For me, it's quite simple. I use different risk managements on my different accounts. So basically, one I risk 2%, one I risk 0.5%, one risk 5%. So basically, it's high risk, middle risk, and low risk for me. So basically, that's how I made
I'm
my
just
group of
curious. So
accounts.
when it comes to, can you, I have a question for you, Nikola. So
Yeah.
let's say you want to manage multiple accounts. So in my mind, how do you follow it? So how do you log in? So you trying to change login to different accounts, or I mean, how do you do it?
I have 2 phones with 2 accounts at the same time.
Oh, okay. So, but you opening orders
On 2
with
phones,
your
yeah.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I'm using another. So I think this tool changed my life, like for real. It's called Magic Keys. It's automated risk management. So you set up your risk, you set up your stop loss. So you know when you need to go to different like platforms,
Here is my magic keys.
yeah. Oh, okay. So, but the tool calculates the risk automatically, so you don't have to think about it. And so you can even have predefined stop loss, take profit. And I talk about this tool to everybody because that tool eliminates, like, I think 90% of all of the repetitive work. And so instead of just focusing on like how much risk and blah, 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 so you just focus on execution. It works perfectly when it comes to Mac execution, but it works well also when it comes to limit orders. I can just write it down. So what are the best tools that you guys are using that we can
Absolutely nothing. Just a piece of paper with my lots, 2 phones, and the trading view. That's everything. I don't need anything else. Chris,
What
you're
about you?
muted.
I'm also, now you should be able to hear me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm also not using anything special. I know what I'm risking on separate accounts, and that's it.
Exactly.
And now I'm risking certain ticks, so it is fixed for me. I'm not placing any more stop loss, let's say right below the low or whatever. I have a certain stop loss for every single move that I'm taking, which might not be, let's say, the optimal. How can we say it?
But I have a contra argument for you guys. That works in situations when your stop loss is predefined. What when it's not?
It's never.
For me, it's predefined. It works very well because the RR increases drastically, increases a lot. So I find it very, very convenient. I have tested it, of course, only on NASDAQ. I'm not using it anywhere else, this strategy.
So when it comes to, I have a question again for you. So when it comes to using predefined stop loss, that way it's easy to manage risk. So I have a question for, let's say you don't have a fixed stop loss because range sometimes can change and you want to put your stop loss. What do you guys do in those situations? So when it's not predefined, okay, I understand that you can do some things over your calculator, but when it's not predefined, what do you do in those situations to manage your risk? Because stop loss can
We
fluctuate.
You
just
can just
calculate how much
calculate
our
it.
pips, yeah. It's just a simple calculation how much our pips is in stop loss, and we just put a lot according to our pips. That's
Exactly.
it.
That's it.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, if my 3 pip stop loss is a 3 pip stop loss, I risk 0.5% on, I don't know, 16 lots on 50K account. Doesn't matter. If I have 25 pips stop loss, I just reduce the lot. That's it.
But you know what, guys? That's a good question because many new traders, again, the new people, don't know how to calculate a stop loss. This is sad. This is very sad. So this is another thing they are telling you, for example, how did you make this amount of money? For me, it was only, let's say, it's the same 5 contracts, let's say the same 5 lots for the same value. So they do not understand basic things. How to
Now
calculate.
I have a guy, he requested one-on-one. And he came to me with a sentence. I heard that you're trading smart money concepts and that you're catching 20 to 30 pip moves. And I was like, okay, and what's the point about that? He said, I want to catch 20 to 30 pip moves. And I say, why? Because that's how I'm going to make more money. And I said, Okay, so basically, if your stop loss is 50 pips, you're not going to make the same amount of money on 20 to 30 pips. So, for example, what if you catch a 7 pip move on 2 pip stop loss? What's going to happen? He is like, you know, I don't know. He doesn't even know how does a risk to reward work. And
besides the commissions, the only valid argument would be the commissions and nothing more than that.
Exactly. So basically, he went to the 3 different courses. 3 different courses. The guy doesn't know how does the risk to reward work. He thinks that more pips you catch during the day that you're going to make more money. But basically, it is true, but it really depends on your stop, more or less.
Depends on the stop, yeah.
Yeah.
This would apply only if you have a fixed stop loss, such I'm having, and if you do not increase or decrease the amount of money that you are risking. Only then it applies, of course.
Yeah, but maybe in like, I don't know, some 1 minute scalping, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so basically, I wanted to know this for a long time. I really need to know about your journey. How did you start? What made trouble to you? That's what I really want to know, and I guess the other people as well. Before we finish, when did you start? How did you start? Yeah, about your trading journey. What made you trouble in your psychology and all?
Okay, the way I started was right before COVID, I think, a little bit before this supposed pandemic.
Yeah.
And I had just finished my degree in neuropsychology. And this goes back to the conversation that we had, guys, that even when you finish college, nobody would take me for a job. Nobody. So even in the Netherlands, I had sent 2,000 CVs, and they all had the same answer, unfortunately. And then I saw that this thing is a whole scam, let's say. Plus the years that I have wasted doing that without getting paid. Imagine that only. Anyways, and what I did, I started working in a warehouse. In warehouses, I was driving specific, let's say, vehicles and stuff like that, boxes, loading trucks. I really enjoyed this job, way more than university and way more than psychology. I swear about that. And I had started at the very same time, I had started with the YouTube channel. This is how I did it. So it was a very long journey, going from support resistant stuff to trend lines, to smart money concepts, and in the end of the day, realizing that almost every single thing works if you know how to manage risk.
Exactly.
Okay, also for
That's what I'm
people
saying.
here, it's not only the smart money concepts that work, that mostly me and the two Nicolas, we are applying smart money concepts. I also heard that the other Nikola, you are doing a Wyckoff method, correct?
Yeah. So I don't think we should call smart money concept, because I think when I see, I mean, I'm going to give my personal take, but it doesn't have to be that. So I think so when you see supply and demand dynamics, so it all started when people started trading. So the first time I wanted to exchange carrot for potato, so that's when supply and demand dynamics started working. And so then we got capitalism in Dutch in 15th century, 14th, 15th century. And then from that point, the way we trade just it made so much efficiency. But then when we got to different stages of like human development, like our civilization grew, then we started reading the charts. So like the price, I'm going to say the price more efficiently. And so that's when the charts came. So they invented Japanese candlesticks. I forgot who invented Japanese candlesticks. And that way you could read the price better. And the price action throughout the years was the most successful strategy. So like the probability of succeeding in price action is way more if you don't use indicators. And so when I see ICT, SMC, blah, blah, this, so everything works from the point of supply and demand dynamics. So natural laws on the market. So no ICT, no SMC, whoever invented, it's nothing special. So they just fabricated the words and made It just fabricated words. So that's my personal take.
Yes,
And
Nikola, sorry to interrupt. And I have been saying the very same thing that you said. But at some point, I received a lot of hate for saying that, as if I was a hater or something. But the truth is what you said. It is just reinvented words from older, bigger guys. That's all.
Yeah, fabricated. So fabricated words. So when I see, I respect every trader in the ways so they say it. Just fair value gap is imbalance. So
Yeah.
an imbalance was made way before ICT and so people think that there's a special algorithm drives the market. Okay, so a lot of volume is moved by algorithm, but who wrote those algorithms? So humans. So there's nothing super special or super artificial about AI. So or even AI or like machine learning, whatever, because those programs wrote humans based on knowledge of supply and demand dynamics. So that means there's nothing special. And so that's my personal thing. If I can say, if I can add another point to that is that, it doesn't matter if you SMC, ICT, or blah, blah, blah trader. Focus on what you know. So I heard, people think, oh, I'm a smart money trader, so I trade order blocks. Okay, try to set up, so every time you see order block, try to place limit order. So 60% of order blocks are going to fail, no matter what, and you cannot do anything about it. So when it comes to, when you know that information, that 60% of order blocks or whatever they called on the market are going to fail, and I approach with that mindset. So what can I do differently? How can I be better than the guy that is looking on the charts from the other side? So when it comes to that, you keep optimizing your system, but there's nothing special about different strategies. And so I wanted to add that point, because liquidity moves the market. The only way we can win if the other players loses. And so yeah, and it's a natural law of economy, nothing else. What's your
Everything
guys?
works as long as you know how to proper risk everything. Everything works. Imbalances and fair value gaps are basically support and resistance that are broken. So that's why the majority of the trades are taken off imbalances, because it's the first retest of the support or the resistance. Liquidity is driving everything, and rebalances are just retests. So basically, yeah, more or less, it all comes down to the same thing. You're muted, Chris. Give me 1 second. Okay, try now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Every time I'm typing in the chat, get muted for some reason. Yeah. Sorry.
So basically, yeah, that's what I said. Everything that comes, everything is basically the same. I can open you the chart right now. Check it out. Every single imbalance that we have is literally breakage of the support or the resistance area. We talked about it last time. Just give me 1 second.
And if you don't do risk management, guys, nothing is going to work.
Exactly.
Literally nothing.
Okay, so basically, every single imbalance that I can see, every single one. For example, this one. Support and resistance broken. Doesn't matter. Next one as well. This one.
Yes,
support and resist. Every single one. So basically, it's just some fancy names about the things that are there for a long time. So don't break your head about learning all the new fancy things. It all comes back to the same. So just master one thing, master your risk management, you're going to be profitable.
Yeah, and it's not a game that we are against each other, guys. This is another thing I want to talk about. Yeah. We are against ourselves always. So it's not like we belong to the good team if somebody is saying I'm trading SMC or ICT, or it's not that we are the cool team and you are the bad team. You are competing against yourself, nobody else. That's my last word, I think.
You're not going to get any richer if your friend loses. I mean, you are, because he lost and you take his money, but somebody else can lose his money.
Correct.
So basically, It's not a competition, guys. Just learn how to do it. You do it for your own pocket, and don't put anyone down. Everybody started one day, so basically just help them and don't hate.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to unmute everyone for questions if somebody has some questions. Just a second.
Well, and I will also have to leave in 5 minutes. I need to go to a wedding. I'm already a little bit late.
Oh, okay. So quickly, guys, if you have some questions for Chris, again, check his YouTube channel, Chris FX. He has really nice videos, some really nice explanations. He helped me a lot in my journey, even before I met him. So go on.
Do you guys ever actually met in person?
No, basically, I wanted to meet him, so I paid for a one-on-one class on his website. So basically, when we came to the class, I was not silent. He was teaching me about ICT, and the guy knew that I knew everything. He was like, "Why did you take this trip?"
Yeah, I told
and then we started talking. So basically, I told him that I really enjoyed his videos, and some of the videos really helped me in my journey, and so on and so on. So basically, that was the whole point why I took his class, just so I can talk. And ever since we are in contact, we exchange trades.
It was funny.
You guys should meet in person, and you guys are not that far.
Yeah, it's fine.
Of course, it will happen someday.
I'm planning to come to Greece next year, so let's see.
Oh, nice.
We'll see.
Be prepared for some strong drinking.
Of course.
I love Greece so much. Oh my God, I miss Greece. I miss olive oil. I miss, what's called, I forgot, gyros and like
Gyros, oh my God, yeah.
Oh my God.
Appreciate the kind words.
Everyone is unmuted, so if you have some questions, go on, please.
Thank you guys for the kind words. Vasily.
I would like to greet to all the participants, as I see that the other members are hesitating to say anything. I would like to greet you all. We are honored to have in our group Chris FX and, of course, Nikola Kosanović, along with our mentor Nikola Kosanović. It's a great live as it was the last time, and I would like to ask Chris FX, you are trading SMC. I see that you had some comments about the ICT, and I would like just if you can say why this is the thing that I didn't understand well. Why do you think that the ICT is not so, let's say, valid as I understood as it is the SMC? Or I didn't catch that what you've been saying. And also, as three of you are all here, I would like maybe to propose that you guys can organize some seminar somewhere. It would be very nice to see you in a live, to meet you in a person, and I believe that the traders from entire Balkan would be more than happy to see you somewhere. Doesn't matter, it can be Belgrade or any other city, and that we can meet you really alive, that we can talk with you in a live, in a person, that we could hear in a live what you're saying, and then afterwards maybe to have some party, dinner, barbecue, whatever.
I say let's go to Vietnam. It's beautiful over there, man.
Oh my God,
I say, Nikola, give us accommodation for everyone, and we're all gonna go over there.
Like Vietnam is the most livable country ever. Like the place where I'm at right now. Oh my God! So there's like a tourist area. It's called An Tuong, and you can do everything on walk. So I drive what's called motor, and but sometimes I don't turn it on for days because you can do everything. And food is amazing, and the beach is right there, and it's so like, guys, if I can
right there.
and
very nice.
And by the way, Nikola has a crepe house, so we are all going to Vietnam to eat his pancakes. Of course, it's free of charge because we are colleagues. He's making a lot of money anyway, so it's fine.
Come, guys.
He can take it. He can take the hit.
And so the point. So when I'm speaking to friends who are working online as a freelancers, IT, or like anything else, or like even traders, like, guys, come to Vietnam. Like, you're going to blow away. So it's 5 hours difference. It sucks with New York a little bit because sometimes you go somewhere, and you meet friends. but Vietnam is such an amazing country. People are amazing. The food is amazing. You know, I remember, you know, because I love avocado, and it's really hard to find avocado in Serbia when I eat, but here it's an abundance of avocado, and that's something really good about Vietnam, because I mean, okay, I don't know how is the situation in Greece, but in Serbia, probably Croatia and stuff. So your bill when you buy avocado is like, you know, it shoots up, but here it's everything so, you know, so cheap, avocado especially, that, you know, it's just the place to be.
Well, the prices are to the roof in Greece, but everybody is out partying. Every single one is out partying. So
everywhere, man, everywhere is like that. So Belgrade is like London at this point. It's crazy.
Like imagine right now Kiev in Ukraine. So we can find videos like there are bombs falling all over the place, and people are partying at night. It's just
crazy.
You know,
So,
like
people, you know.
East mentality.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Shall I quickly answer the question from Vasily, because I will need to go.
Oh, you need to go. Okay.
Chris, thank you so much for joining.
No, let
I
me
really
answer
enjoyed it.
first the question from Vasily.
Vasily, he just asked if you're going to have a meetup, and
He's leaving. Okay, because
it was a question about the ICT. However, if you're in a
no, I will answer. The thing is that I didn't say that ICT is invalid or something like that. The thing that I said is that pretty much the words that he's using for his concepts, these are not his concepts. This was my point. He just made them up to be his concepts. That was the whole point. He gave them another, let's say, name.
Yeah.
And he explained them differently. You can check out guys like Al Brooks. Al Brooks has been talking about the same things, and he's very old. He's a way better trader and a proven trader. There are many other traders who have proven themselves. They have been trading those things way longer. And if you want to talk even about that, let's take Wyckoff. Wyckoff, when did he live? When did he develop his method? Wyckoff. Let's see. Wyckoff, 1873 he was born and died 1934. So these are pretty much the same concepts that ICT says it's his own concepts, but it is a lie. This was my point. It does not invalidate ICT as a trader, but he's a very good marketer. This was my point.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying all the time.
No disrespect. This is what I mean. I'm not having any disrespect.
Everything is more or less the same. Exactly. The fair value gap is the support. The breaker block is a support. Order block is just a fancy name for a retest of the support of the resistance. But
exactly,
you know, it has to be fancy. It has to be complicated. So you know.
Thank you very much, guys, for having me here.
Thank you, Chris, for coming. It was pleasure.
Pleasure as well.
We can make this more or less. So
yes, and we will keep in touch, guys.
Sure, let's keep in touch.
Much love. Bye.
See you, man. Bye.
Okay, so we should. I mean, if there. Okay, možemo sad na našem.
Možemo na našem.
Konačno.
Ništa, ljudi, ako imate neka pitanja, slobodno pucajte. Kod mene je kasno malo, ja se uskoro spremam za spavanje. Pa...
Ja se spremam za rođendan, sutra mi je rođendan, molim vas. Punim 22.
Ja,
23, Nikola.
23.
Sjajno. Mislim da si malo stariji, ovo sad ti saznam.
Pa jesam stariji. 32 punim sad.
Pa mi smo kolege, jebote, mi smo
generacija smo.
Da.
Dobro, društvo, ajde ovi koji su ostali, imate neki pitanja još za nas ili da se gasimo, pošto imamo pomalo obaveza. Treba i trening da se odradi.
Mora da se
Ti si Nikola, trening nizu.
Nikola, može pitanje za tebe.
Kog Nikola?
Nikola Kosanović.
Ajde.
Znam ko je ovo. Tek da pogodim.
Znaš.
Ovo je Nebojša majstor.
Tako je.
Što si upisan kao Ana, druže?
Ma, zakače se preko
ženine podatke.
Supruge. Krijem se.
Razumeš.
Volao bi da čujem mišljenje o tome da je market potpuno da kažem, šta misliš o ovom konceptu? Potpuno namešten, kontrolisan od strane alga, između imbalansa se kreće cena u strogo kontrolisanom vremenu.
Vidi, nije prvi put da sam to čuo. Sad skoro mi je baš neko rekao kao neki time and price algoritam u fazonu da su jedno vreme cena kreće dole i onda kada kucne, na primjer, ono lupam 1 i 18 minuta, da onda kreće da se...
I vreme ti uvek 10:33, 12:12, 14:55, to možeš sam da proveriš. Tačno postoje minutaža kada se cena rotira, naravno ne bilo odakle, nego uz određenu strukturnu formulu, da kažem. Ali zaista vidjet ćeš Bitcoin, ako ga trguješ, a video sam da ga trguješ, vidjet ćeš da se rotira u 3:33, u 4:55, to su standardna vremena, znači ti to možeš da gađaš bukvalno u minut. Zato te pitam, da li si obratio pažnju, da li si primetio i da li imaš nekakvo mišljenje o tome?
Vidi, to po vremenu nikad nisam obraćao pažnju, niti sam se mnogo baktao sa time, ali moram da kažem da dosta koristim to što si rekao prvo, da se čisti liquidity i da se rebalansira market. Ja, na primjer, structure shiftove gledam ako pukne fair value gap. Na primjer, ja uopšte ne gledam da li pukne high ili low, nego gledam ako pukne fair value gap. Jer, tačnije, ako se rebalansira i ako bajeri preuzmu kontrolu iznad tog imbalansa koji je ostao. Ili ispod za selere. Znači, ja tako ne nagađam, nego gledam za strukturne shifteve. I svaki put, u 99% slučajeva, kada mi fair value gap pukne, uglavnom se promeni smer. I generalno to je ono što ja koristim u svojoj trading strategiji. A to što se tiče vremena, ne mogu da ti kažem, zato što stvarno nikad nisam obraćao pažnju. Čuo sam za to, ali je meni to baš neverovatno.
Ja sam jako već zna Nikola, da se ne pomeram od čarta već godinama, od prilike 15 do 18 sati dnevno, da bi provalio kako rade i da kažem, evo, znači, baza mog trgovanja je imbalans na 3 sata 30 minuta, 3 minuta i naravno vreme. To je nešto što tražim sa određenih nivoa strukturno gledajući.
Ne, kažem ti, nisam nikad obraćao pažnju. Ok, lažem, obratio sam pažnju na jednu stvar. London uvek tera u jednom smeru i prekretnica bude nešto malo pre New Yorka. Ako bude prekretnica. Tačnije, ako imamo zonu za prekretnicu. To sam primetio. Naprimjer, između 9 i 2 uglavnom teramo u jednom smeru. Znači, ako je London otvorio lupam, uradio je neku blagu manipulaciju i krenuo da tera na dole, do New Yorka uvek teramo do dole. Znači, jako retko kad bude reversal za vreme samo Londona ili samo New Yorka. To sam, na primjer, primetio i krenuo sam, na primjer, da praktikujem ako sam propustio London Open trade, a vidim da će da bude reversal, na primjer, imam neku zonu za reversal, uopšte ne gađam reversal, nego čekam New York, na primjer. Što se tiče vremena, jedino što sam izvalio je to. A što se tiče ovoga što mi ti kažeš da se tipa u 12 okreće market i u 3, to stvarno nikad nisam obratio pažnju.
Ne, 15:33. Pazi, 15:33, 15:55. Prosto tako funkcionišu. Jednostavno, algoritam tako radi. On je vremenski podešen i tada se vrše rotacije, da kažem. U svakom satu imaš 22, 44, 33, 55. Probaj, proveri, vidjet ćeš, znači imbalans je uvek 1 i 3 minuta, znači tu se vrše rotacije. Naravno, ozbiljna varijanta je 30 minuta imbalans kad je u blizini, pogotovo 2 imbalansa na 30 minuta i naravno, globalno gledajući 3 sata imbalans koji je, da kažem, ozbiljan sam po sebi.
Dobro, naravno da, ali generalno ja mislim...
Evo, pogledaj sad Bitcoin danas, gde si ušao u trade. Pogledaj levo šta si imao, gde je on u stvari završio.
To sam imao daily fair value gap, znam.
Ne daily, idi na 30 minuta, pogledaj gde je on završio.
Završio je...
Baš u imbalansu na 30 minuta.
Pa nije.
Jest.
Pa
evo
sad ću da ti šerujem, čekaj.
Ajde.
Evo, stavit ćemo ovu liniju ovdje, čekaj. Odbio se od order bloka ovdje. On još gore ima imbalans.
Jesi na 30 minuta?
Na 30 minuta.
Gde je Vik pogodio danas?
Evo, označio sam ti ova crvena linija.
U 12, koliko je to bilo? 12:33.
Evo ti. Ovde se odbio.
Uvećaj mi, ne vidim te tu, mnogo mi je sitno nešto.
Evo ti.
Ne mogu da te vidim.
Evo.
Jel vidiš imbalans na 30 minuta, ne?
Ima ispod neki blagi imbalans i order blok.
Ne znam, mislim, zavisi možda i od brokera, ali
Vidi,
nemoguće da se...
moguće je, nemoj da me shvatiš pogrešno, moguće je
tu
to
gde ti je stop loss, tu gde ti je stop loss, povuci samo na levo. Ući ćeš u imbalans na 30 minuta. Tu gde je tvoj stop loss.
Dobro.
Samo vuci tu zonu na levo.
A označio sam, evo ti, to ti je ovo crvena linija.
Jesi.
Evo ti, to ti je ovde.
Ispod te crvene linije moraš da imaš imbalans na 30 minuta.
To ti je order blok tu bio. Ali dobro, mislim, shvatam logiku. Okay.
Kapiraš me? Uvek će se kretati između imbalansa cena, ne order blokova i tako dalje. Pitanje je koncepta, zato što uvek imaš nešto levo i gore i levo dole. Mislim,
to i ja podržavam i ja isto mislim da je to tačno, da se jednostavno sve kreće između imbalansa i liquidity, a to je ono što ja podržavam i smatram da je tako. To je, znači, to je 1/1 tako, nema greške. Znači, order blokovi se nalaze samo kada ti se odbio neku zonu na jačem time frame-u i tražiš order blok na manjem da bi imao gde da uđeš. Činjenica.
Tako je.
Mislim, to je 100% tačno i ja generalno to forsiram u mojim coachinzima i u tradovanju. Znači, teoretski, evo ti misliš šta se ovde desilo. Skinuli smo liquidity, ovdje i odmah smo izbacili rebalans. Sad, ovaj rebalans ovde je meni, zatvaranje ovog fair value gapa je meni govorilo da će da bude strukturnog shifta. I sve što je trebalo je samo da se uđe na ovom ovdje imbalansu. Evo ga, znači, bukvalno snajperski je trade bio i snajperski će vratno izlaz.
Super, da. Pa i kad bi povukao FIB, dobio bi isto, znači...
Isto bi bio FIB, znači, vratno bi bio
0,5, 100%. Da.
Mislim da bi bio 6,18. Ne bi, nešto malo iznad 0,5. Ali teoretski da. To je otprilike. Ja tako tradujem, to je moja strategija, ja to tako tradujem i sa time se služim. Znači ja mnogo koristim inverse imbalanse, mnogo koristim imbalans i mnogo koristim swipove. Znači nakon svakog swipa, ako dobijem inverse fair value gap i pre nego što bude strukturni shift koji je bio ovde, ja već imam postavljen svoj order na fair value gapu koji je ostao.
Pošto sam skapirao da si scalper, koristiš koje time frame-ove? U smislu shiftova, swipova i tako dalje.
Ja uglavnom radim sat vremena imbalanse sa 1 minut inverse imbalansima. To mi je strategija. Naravno, to se nekad promeni na 15 minuta, na 30 minuta, zavisi od marketa do marketa.
Dobro, od marketa, da.
Znači, faktički, ja na minut radim ulaze i na minut radim izlaze. Gađam 1:2,5, 1:3 i ostavljam ranera dok idu. A sad, ako radim na duže tradeove kao što sam ovaj ovde, onda se razmišljam šta ću, da li ću da ga ugasim ovde ili ću možda da gađam ovo ovde niže još. Ali verovatno ću da mu skinem partial, pa da ću ostaviti da ide još malo niže. Pošto smo skinuli dobar liquidity vamo bili, imamo dole i imbalans čak na daily nivou koji bi trebao da se rebalansira. Evo ga ovde, tako da razmišljam se šta ću da uradim. Vidjet ću kakva će reakcija da mu bude sa ovog ovde liquidity, pa ću razmisliti šta ću.
Kako ti je mišljenje o globalnoj slici, ne mislim ovo sitno? Za BTC. Za BTC. Šira slika za BTC. Kako ga posmatraš u smislu nekih, ajde kažemo, budućih dana, ne mislim...
Vidi, BTC će konstantno da raste. Ja mislim da je to kopija zlata, da će tako da se ponaša. A što se tiče ovo sada, u nekom skorijem periodu, pazi, ovde sam govorio da se gađa long na ovom ovde inversu. Znači tu sam govorio da se gađa long i da se gađaju svi ovi high-evi ovde. Imaš čak i klip kod mene na Instagramu o tom. Znači kad smo izbacili ovaj ovde invers, rekao sam da se polako hvataju longovi i da se gađa ka gore.
Ajde stavi samo posle, izvini što prekidam, stavi posle samo da ne zaboravim kako da te nađem na Instagramu.
Nikola Trejderski možda, imaš me i kod Janjića, nije spomno.
Dobro.
Znači teoretski u Discordu sam rekao da se već odavde gledaju longovi polako i da ćemo da skidamo sada malo buy side. Znači treba da skidamo ovaj ovde high, treba da skidamo, sad vidjet ćemo nakon ovo ovde fair value gapa šta će da se desi. Znači to mi je sledeći target, odakle bi možda tražio shortove. Sad zavisi, ako pipnemo prvo ovaj fair value gap, ovaj ovde, na daily-u i dobijemo reakciju, onda ću da gađam i dalje da ćemo da idemo ka gore. Ali ovaj ovde mi je sad ključan, moram da vidim šta će da se desi. I više naginjem na bullish strani zato što daily nigde nismo imali nikakav rebalans. Prvi rebalans nam je bio weekly. Nakon tog rebalansa smo se odbili. Tako da verujem da će vrlo verovatno da nam skida ova ovde dva high. to mi je neka ideja za sada. Sad vidjet ćemo šta će da se izdešava tačno i kako će se ponašati.
Jasno. Hvala
Nema
na
zašto,
razgovoru.
hvala tebi.
Ima još neki pitanje ekipa?
Dobro. Ništa, drugari, hvala vam što ste bili. Bilo je interesantno. Meni se bar svidalo. Chris je stvarno odličan. Mislim, ja kad sam kretao svoj trade, ja sam dosta gledao njegove klipove i baš ima onako otvorene klipove. Nikad neću zaboraviti, ima jedan klip testiranje order blokova na 15 minuta strategije. Stvarno mislim, ono li govori, stvarno je otvoren. Učite na YouTube-u da nije uopšte loše da uzmeš nekad gubitak, jer ako pratiš svoju strategiju s dobrim risk managementom, uvijek ćeš izaći u plus. Sećam se, imao je neke crvene i bele sveće. I mislim da je prva 3 trejda koje je bio uradio da su bila minusi, onda je u ne znam, tipa 4. trejdu on uhvatio 1:8, pa on je bio 5% u plus. Znači, dosta mi je uticao bio na psihologiju. Ima stvarno dobre klipove koji jednostavno govore ti kakva je realna slika svega. Naravno, ima i one gluposti, mislim, sa indikatorima, samo da bi progurao preglede, ali generalno ti videi sa strategijama, backtestovanjem su mu stvarno dobri i ima stvarno, mislim, kvalitetnog materijala koji stvarno mislim da biste trebali da pogledate.
Ništa,
Dobro.
ljudi. Osimo na pozivu.
Dobro, društvo. Morali bi da se gasimo. Jeste na YouTube-u, Salma. Morali bi da se gasimo, ja isto moram da idem. Hvala vam svima što ste bili. Vidjet ćemo, sad ću da se dogovorim sa Janjićem koga ćemo sledećeg da zovemo. I bit će verovatno u narednih mjesec dana još jedan. Samo da vidimo koga ćemo pozvati. Pozdrav, drugari, i čujemo se.
Svaka čast, hvala vam, momci.
Hvala, pozdrav. Hvala.
Ćao.
Bog, bog.